Okay, so I don't know if anybody noticed, but when I looked at it in the video, looked back at this video, I wasn't very happy with the shape of this. From about here and roundwards, this backwards is a new panel that I just, a sheet of metal that I bent, put in there, and I'm not too sure whether or not that shape's correct. And I think I'm not sure whether or not it should come up here or down or whatever. So I know some models I've looked at, some pictures I've seen, this does on the the later cars, we do have this seam and it does tend to go up a bit. But of course I had the sill covers on here, still got the sill cover on the other side. Those are held on by these key shaped add-ons, and so yeah, they need to go, that's what holds it on at the top, and at the bottom there's just screws in places, and of course they're just Phillips screws and they're an absolute pig to get to. Also, if you look at the way the car's supported at the moment, we've got these rubber blocks which are on here. Now if I'm going to do anything with this, I don't want to be supporting it from there, I want to be supporting it from the axles. However, at the same time, I can't get any torque. You can hardly, if there's a screw going up this way, you're never going to get it without, using this lift as the way to do it. So what I'm going to have to do is lower it down, support the, jack up the back and support the axles with axle stands to give us some area in here so that I can actually do the work, and probably end up grinding off those screws that are in the bottom. Now, and anybody with some knowledge will know that a Phillips screw and some sealant is not the right solution for this, not the correct solution. If you look at this, they're quite big holes, and quite a big slot. Now my car, if I look at the build sheet that I have, it says the car's 2003, but it's a 54 plate 2004 registered car, and somewhere in there I'm sure it says something about 2004 model add-ons, which is which equate to this rubber, this plastic seal cover and the rubber extension over there, and a few other little bits I think. But effectively there may be some other changes, but I know the older cars do not have these sill plastic covers and do not have the sort of lip extension, the rubber lip extension on the wheel arch. So they were on the car when I bought it. It looks like they were fitted to the car quite early on in its life, even probably before it was even sold. So so yeah, I'm going to put them back on, of course, and to get the right shape that's here, I'm going to take the sill cover off the other side, because I probably have to do it, because that's going to have a hole here too in the sill. I definitely got to replace this on that side, so definitely need to get there anyway. So that's what I'm going to do today. I'm gonna get the sill cover off the other side and then do some measuring to find out what's gone wrong here. I may just end up having to do a cut in here, or cut here maybe, re-weld, tighten it up and then cut it back in again. But I'm not happy with that shape, so I'm going to do something about it. Anyway, that's where we are. I'm going to work on lowering the car, jacking it up, etc., so that I can take the seal off the other side and support this higher up, and so I can get in and do some work on here too. The big issue, of course, is then you're lying on the floor, which isn't as fun. So here's the challenge. We have a number of screws along this bottom here. I haven't tried to loosen that one off yet, but we'll give it a go. But my guess is going to have to cut most of these off, or grind them back and try and get to them another way. Yeah, there's no bite there at all. And there's nothing down until about here. Yeah. So there's not that many under here. 3 by the looks of things, but they're totally rusted away. There's no way I'm going to be able to undo them. There's nothing for the Phillips screwdriver to bite into. It's just a rusty mess. So we're going to have to grind them off. Okay, let's see if we can undo this screw. Not with that screwdriver we can't, it's too long. How about our little gadget? Does not turn at all. Well, we're going to have to drill that one out. Not good. Pretty much every screw was a nightmare. I'll get you back on once I've got the drill in there and sorted it out. Okay, so I've freed off every screw. Only one of them undid. All the others needed to be cut out. You know, you end up with little bits like that in the end. So now you can see it sort of moving. We just need to tap it back. Oh, tap it towards the front of the car. Try not to damage this end and see what happens. It's moving. It's definitely moved a little bit, a few millimetres. There you go. The great reveal. So yeah, ouch. That doesn't look too healthy down there, does it? There's some repair work needed there and here. So the main thing is though, I can use this shape here, go back just to where the rust starts, I suppose. I can use this shape here to give me a guide to make sure I've got the size, the shape correct on the other side. Yeah, that doesn't look nice under there, does it? Oh well, it is what it is. More videos. Okay, so here's the panel I made by mistake out of too thin a metal for the other side. And if you look, just go up a bit, you'll see it's a pretty good overall shape. It doesn't have like the indent here, but that's because I didn't finish the panel because I realised it was too thin at that point. So apart from going in at this point, overall that's pretty close to the size that was, or the shape that we need. Okay, let's go and have a look at the other side. Okay, so here we have the same panel. We're now on this side, and again, if I just go in a bit, I mean, we do have, it does sort of go, does sort of bulge here a little, but overall the shape is about right. So I'm a little confused. I will work on it and try and isolate where we think it's wrong, but I think maybe, just think that maybe we're a bit too proud here, which has meant that you know, and maybe we're going in a bit too far here compared to the other side. But I will, you know, I do have another, I did try cut out some things, so maybe, yeah, I think we're maybe going in a bit too far at this point, so it might be just worth cutting back here, pulling this bit out and then or maybe even just try leveraging this bit out a bit. We'll have a play and see how we can improve it. I mean, I may be getting a bit carried away because it's going to be covered by the panel, but I would like to get it somewhere closer than it is at the moment. Okay, had a bit of a play with it. Why I didn't, don't know quite why I didn't do it first of all, but effectively, the bit that was causing me grief that I thought was wrong was this bit here, and it turns out that if I, having measured it and played around with it, if you look at this, that's a pretty good fit. That goes quite nicely. Now, basically, a little bit of persuasion. Where this is a chisel from a pneumatic drill that I bought, and it's the wrong size. It doesn't fit mine, but it wasn't very. It was only a few pounds, like less than £10. So I didn't send it back, and it's great for getting into places like this. So giving it a bit of leverage here, tapping it smooth again. A couple of dollies and hammer here, trying to get this edge right. And basically, I'm pretty happy with that. That goes, checking against, getting a straight edge, checking it out. Yeah, it's pretty good. There's just a slight gap here, but we've got to get another sheet of metal in here. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that actually. Yeah. So let's get on. So effectively what we can do now is look into fixing this piece in. I don't know whether, I did have some thoughts of just doing this bit first, cutting that piece off, but basically now I'm going to play around with the repair panel that's going in here, fettling it to get it to fit better. I got it to fit that end nicely, but then that mucked up this end a bit. So now I'm going to go back and try and get this piece. I think actually when I was playing around with this, I knocked it out of shape. Trying to get the wheel arch repair panel to fit it better. So that's pretty much what I'm going to do. It's a lot of fettling around. It's not very exciting from a video perspective. So yeah, I'll do some work on that and then come back to you. Okay, so we've been working on this replacement wheel arch panel. It had some fitment issues like they all do when you buy a replacement panel. Did a lot of work on this corner or this edge here. It fits quite nicely behind now. And there's, if you look from that side, you can see there's a pretty good fit all the way around, held in by Clecos. You can see there's some other marks where I was trying it in different positions to slightly get a better overall finish. There is actually, I don't think you can pick up on the camera, but there's a bit of a ripple here, so I'll definitely have to sort that out before we go to fit it permanently. Where I was talking about earlier, this does, there is a little bit here, but I think when we're actually doing the weld, either the cut and butt or whatever, we'll get that a lot closer, and even under here as well. I think that'll just go because it's quite thin. And I will still play around a bit. Let's get that right back around here. There is still a bit of a gap behind here, so I think that could still go. I think it could still go that direction a little. We've got a spare, just some scrap metal here, so we can actually either bend it round up here or cut it off and then put a piece from here all the way around, a little strip, just to finish that off. But we had to cut that off because the shape that was around here was way off. So yeah, be prepared if you buy a pre-made panel. You may well have to. Well, you will have to adjust it a bit. This is where we're at with the wheel arch repair panel fitting. In the earlier video I showed that there was a gap here, And basically, looking further into it, that gap persisted all the way around. And so, where I had it before with the Clecos, that's not the right position. I did do a lot of work previously with this end. I just got that tapped on there so it could hold it in the right place for a minute. But effectively, that was connected. I did weld that in, much closer. But that effectively turned the whole of the wheel arch repair panel this way, which meant that this was too short and this bit here was further up and this bulge, etc. So given the fact that the outer seal was not touching the inner seal all the way around, where it actually in the position that it is in right now, it is. So there's no, those two, the inner and outer seal are pushed up against each other. It is further up. If you look at the Cleco, the holes, you can't see the holes. In fact, you can just about see the top of the old hole. So it's actually gone up higher. So this is touching all the way around here. It's touching, it's touching, it's touching. Now, obviously we've cut this back out, reshaping this end. The challenge I have now is that I had to repair the inner panel coming down here. I replaced that, but very carefully based on where the original panel was, and building a panel to fit in. I think I've got it shown a little bit in one of the previous videos. The problem I've got now is that this point here, you can see I need to push this in, and pushing this in pulls this bit out here. I did just tack this on here just to get some idea, so because everything was moving and just trying to get some idea of where things should go. But what we do also have to remember, I was thinking about this last night in fact, is that we've got a load, a good 1/8 of an inch to a couple of mil of filler in this edge here. So there was obviously a repair in the past, and so I obviously need to get that could be the cause of this. So what I'm going to do is the next task is to take this off, cut this little tack off. I only put it on there just to make things a bit easier. Take that off, and then grind grind all the filler off, and then try and fit this again, and basically get round to refixing this part here. Straighten it out a bit, do some work. I've been done a lot of work on here trying to get it to fit to the previous position, and now it's not the right position. The challenge now is to make sure it goes back in the same place each time. I've put a few little marks here and there. We had this mark. Also I did measure from here to here, and from this point here to here, etc. So that I had some measurements to go back to. I've also tried measuring from here to here. However, I'm not sure that the panels are exactly in the same place anyway, but I did measure from this point here down to this tip, the one that's on the inside, and that is in the right place. And this sort of triangle, slightly curved triangle that I did have in here does fit that, but obviously it's got to go up. So we've got to do some more work around here to fix that. So that's pretty much what the next tasks are. And then the other thing I'm going to do is I've got some black epoxy paint and everything inside, all this up in here, everything up in here, the inner wheel arch, etc. All of that, and down here, I'm going to paint all of that before we put on. So that's all for the next video. But I did just want to point out where we are and why it's like, why haven't I just shoved this on? And it's because there's some work to be done, definitely in this corner. Take the filler off, redo this shape on the end here, whether or not I need to relieve some of the tension in here so that I can bend that in there without pulling out this corner. I'm not sure whether I need to cut this way or this. I think just this way will be sufficient that it will bend. And obviously keep this shape. There, as you can see, sort of see this way, it does go down. It does go down and then come back out again. The other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to temporarily put the bumper back on here so that I can make sure that this edge follows the bumper and gives me a nice view, because it'd be terrible to get all this in and then put the bumper on and it'll look awful. So I'm going to have to do that as well. The next little brief video is about the where we are with the bumper mounting. If you've watched the bumper removal video, you'll know that I broke the this assembly trying to get it out. Now only gentle tapping, but you can see it gets corroded, alley in alley, some kind of oxide in the aluminium oxide, I guess. They corrode together and you can't get them out, and just even gently tapping to get this bolt out that goes up in there, that had corroded. This is still an aluminium. They corrode, block up, and I couldn't get this bolt out without breaking it. And I said that I'm sure I've got another one of these somewhere from the XJR that I took to bits a few years ago, and I'm sure I saved one of those. And sure enough, I did go and find it, but as you can see, huge height difference. I can't use this. However, I could potentially use that part to replace those bits. The challenge is, of course, is that is welded in there. Well, not welded, corroded in there. I have tried using penetrating oil, heating it up, cooling. I've even got some freezer spray and tried freezing the middle and heating the outside. It does look like there's a bit of a crack there already. That was there before I tried to dismantle it. So yeah, still struggling with that. I'll keep, 2 or 3 days I've had a go at that. Every so often come back to it, heat it up again, try and turn it, but no luck as yet. So could well still need to go and buy one of those. So I just thought I'd update you on that particular part. That's it for this video. See you in the next one.